Now we'll do a demonstration of how you would use this to make a cup of coffee. So I got my trusty coffee cup here, I got my pour over, and I got my pour over scale. So we'll just go into the menu here. If you hit the right button, and we want to do by amount of water, we'll use 300 grams. We'll put the cup on the scale. We'll hit next. It's going to say to put 21.4 grams of coffee in there. There we go. We'll hit next. And now we can actually start pouring. So typically what you do is you pour about 30 grams or so to wet the grounds, and then you let it hang out for a little bit. And this is just to saturate the grounds, get them wet with water, and then that way when you actually start pouring, it pours consistently and the grounds just don't all float up and you don't get a good extraction. And if you look here, you can actually see this is bubbling up. It's pretty fresh coffee, so it's got a lot of CO2 in it still. So now we can actually start pouring the water here. And what we want to do is we want to watch this number, because this is actually telling us how fast we're pouring. We're shooting to keep for that 1.3 grams per second. So if you follow that, it should take you about 4 minutes to pour this, and then you could always adjust it. Right now you can't adjust the brew time on this, but that would be one of the options that you should be able to adjust. But this is just kind of in beginner mode, I like to call it, where it tells you what it thinks you should do to make a consistent cup of coffee, or at least a good tasting cup of coffee, which that will be consistent. If you wanted to, you could even take and lift this off of here, and you can see that it's coming out at about 0.8, 0.7 grams per second, which is a little bit shy of what the goal is, but this isn't completely exact because the pour rate changes depending upon how much water's in here and all that, but it should be pretty close, which indicates to the person making the coffee that they have the coffee ground about right. So if you look, you can see that the water is just staying on the top of the coffee grounds here, and that means that it's going in as fast as it's coming out. And if I'm pouring it at the rate that it specifies here, I should be making an excellent cup of coffee. We also want to keep an eye on the upper number here, which is the total amount, which we're almost to our goal of 300 grams. So now if we lift this off of here, we'll see that it's probably pouring a little bit. That's about the same. So maybe these coffee grounds are a little bit coarse. I mean, fine. Oh, I just ran out of water. Need a little bit more. There we go. So we're going to let that finish dripping. You can see it through here. It's still dripping a little bit. It's about done dripping. And now you can enjoy a delicious cup of coffee.